Zaven Collins joining us now. Zaven, thanks for the time. That game yesterday, was that as fun to play in as it looked like it was?
Yeah, that was a fun game. One of the most fun of my career.
Zaven, I have to start with this right here because I was outraged when they took that sack away from you. Has the league acknowledged any of that to you, Zaven, at all? I mean, did they send you an apology? Because there was nothing there for roughing the passer. You did nothing.
Yeah, basically their way of acknowledging it is just not sending you a fine.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't really say anything to you. They don't say sorry. They don't say, oh, this, and that. They just don't send you a fine, so that's how you know you didn't really screw up. So I never got a fine, and, yeah, so that's really what it is.
Oh, man.
That speaks volumes, really. All right, Zaven, the game yesterday, there's a lot of talk about the offense. We'll get into that, I'm sure. But defensively, you held the Rams to 10 points. You really shut down the running game. You really shut down the passing game. You sacked Matthew Stafford 5 times. What was it about that game that was working really from the first drive?
Yeah, we had a game plan, and we just kind of had that mentality of we want to hit these keys in our game plan as a defense, and we did from the first drive. You know, we kind of started in a bad area, but we really don't care. You know, whether it's minus, plus, whatever we're at, ball in the middle of the field, we really don't care. It's just the same mindset to go out there and play defense. Get them to a fourth down stop. They go for the fourth down. They turned the ball over to us. They didn't get it. So that's kind of the mentality we had from out the gate, and it worked out for us well.
Why are you guys doing such a good job in regard to stopping the run? I thought you guys held up okay in Buffalo, and it was on display for all to see yesterday. You guys shut down a very good rushing team and Kyron Williams as well. Why are you guys having so much success, David?
Yeah, you know, I think the first week we had good and bad, traits, and then we kind of just focused on eliminating those bad traits out of the game and just applying it to, weeks moving forward, and that's what we did this week, and I think it worked out.
We're talking to Zaven Collins. Zaven, I'm sure you guys heard this, all the talk before the season about whether the Cardinals have a pass rush or not. You're third in the NFL now with 7 sacks as a team, behind only the Vikings and the Texans. I know it's early, but are you guys comfortable with having almost a balanced attack when it comes to getting to the quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, we have a rush plan that they, kind of scheme up every week, and sometimes they put certain guys like, hey, this is your week, we need you to go win, or we need you to do this, we need you to do that. So whenever you get that opportunity, you have to go make something happen, you know what I mean? Because you may not get those opportunities ever again. And our room celebrates no matter who gets a sack, whether it's, the safety or it's the linebackers or it's the defensive line or OLBs, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We're here for the team to win. Stats, we'll worry about that when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? But until then, we're just happy to, have those good stats.
Zaven, could you go ahead and compare and contrast for you specifically, individually, compare and contrast last year to the first 2 games you've played on the edge this season? How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I kind of compared a lot to like my first year in the league compared to my second year in the league, as an off-ball linebacker, kind of just, kind of seeing the game through a different speed from college, and then you get really comfortable in the second year. You have, it's just way more comfortable, and you're able to play faster. It's the same thing being on the edge and like pass rushing is, you figure out your body more. You figure out what O-linemen are trying to do. You start doing stuff kind of naturally and subconsciously that you had to think about before, especially now that I've repped it so much. So it's more comfortable. I'm reacting faster, so it's nice.
We're talking to Zaven Collins. Zaven, when the defense is on the sidelines and you see the offense moving the ball the way it was yesterday, especially with Marvin Harrison Jr. having the first quarter he had to really kind of break into this league, well, what are you guys thinking on the sidelines when you see the offense doing what it's doing?
Yeah, I'm just going to sit there and sip my Gatorade and smile. That's all it is. But, no, yeah, it's awesome to watch, You see, like, everyone's like, when Kyler's running around, everyone's like, oh, it's hilarious. And then all of a sudden the ball's thrown 15 yards in between 5 people caught for a first down. It's just like, all right, go back to sipping Gatorade. It's fun to watch, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool when he's rolling. There's no doubt about it. And the offense being so physical as they are, it's fun to watch that. Specifically for you, my friend, I know you, and I know that you are your harshest critic, your own harshest critic. Where do you think you need to continue to improve on the edge?
Yeah, just keep building. Don't be, satisfied with anything. Always trend upwards. Always try and work on new stuff. Add to my, rush repertoire. Like just always continuing to work stuff. And then I'm also rushing interior on, some third down packages where I'm in between the tackles. So got to be able to rush in different ways, different leverages, work different moves, more speed, more power, more handwork, whatever we're doing. Always working on that posture, body control, stuff like that. So always trending upwards. But yeah, I think just taking the good and building on it and then trying to eliminate the bad as much as possible, week to week, and building on it without, going back to old habits that you created a long time ago is key for me.
Yeah, no, I love that right there. I have to follow up with this right here. Do you have a favorite move? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, it depends on kind of how tackle's set, but yeah, I like the long arm for sure, and but I'm a bigger guy that I feel like I can move a little bit, so stress them out and then try and hit them with something.
Yeah, I
right
like
there
it.
at the end.
Yes.
We're talking to Zaven Collins. Zaven, there was a lot of the leaders making plays yesterday, whether it was yourself or Dennis Gardeck or Kyler or Buddha or James Conner. Those guys like yourself that were here back in like 2022 when things were rough, is a game like that yesterday that much sweeter for you guys because you've been on the other side of things and now you're kind of breaking through?
Yeah, you've been on the other side of that for sure, and it's not fun on the other side. And it's very sweet to be, whenever you see how hard guys have worked to do certain things, and the team come together and believe in one another, like everyone believes in each other, no matter what the situation is, good or bad. And it's unwavering, the commitment guys have to each other.
Zaven, have you ever seen a team line up in one personnel group the entire game and just go out there and rep 11 personnel the way the Rams were doing yesterday?
Yeah, I know. It's they're kind of plagued by injuries, but yeah, and like the Rams have always kind of been notorious of doing stuff like that, where it'll be 11 personnel, but they'll make it look like 12, or they'll be 11 personnel and they'll make it look like 01. You know what I mean? They'll get into empty sets, and so they kind of make it with everything. They'll put the the wide receiver in the backfield, stuff like that. It's that West Coast offense it is different because you can't really put your packages in for personnel like a normal game would, right?
Yeah.
12 personnel, you go throw base out there. 11, you throw penny or, nickel, depending on down and distance. So that's kind of out the window in some of those cases when you're playing teams like that.
Zaven, we appreciate the time, man. Congratulations on
Thank
the
you,
big win
Zaven.
yesterday.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Okay, man.
That's Zaven Collins joining us right there on the Arizona Sports Line. Yeah, he picked up the sack yesterday, 1 of 5 for the Arizona Cardinals against the Rams. The Rams
should have too.
He should have too. But that's interesting what he said. I saw that somebody posted that over the weekend that the NFL didn't fine him, and typically that's a standard move. You fine somebody for roughing the passer. And so the league looked at it, and they were probably like, well, but he didn't rough the passer.
It's just my belief. I think they ought to issue an apology. Seriously, we blew this. Like the NBA is very transparent on a lot of their blown calls, right? True. I think the NFL should do something like that as well.
You know what? And while they're at it, can they send us an apology for that Greg Dortch final play too? That was DPI.
That one may have altered the whole outcome of the game too.
Maybe that's why they don't. Issue any.
It's a lot of apologies
Forget about the last
every
2
Tuesday
minutes.
from the league.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.